So we are live. Um, Thanks, Pratik, for joining in, the sassy guy.
Thank you
Um,
so much for inviting.
yeah. I mean, it was long due. We had a conversation, but thankfully, in a shorter duration, we are now having the second one. So yeah, great stuff. I'll just give some people time to tune in and settle in so that we can get started. um,
Sure.
so how has your day been, Pratik?
It was great. I mean, I'm having calls sitting in a cafe, City of Joy, Kolkata. It's my hometown, so I'm sitting here and taking calls. So yeah, so I planned my entire day, and I'm really sorry for being late. I'm really sorry. Some of important calls came in, and that's why I was occupied there. So yeah.
No worries, no worries. I think people are starting to tune in. If you all can hear us and listen, I mean, look at us, I mean, see us, please give me a confirmation so that I can get started. So, yeah,
Yeah, guys can also write Pratik looking cool, so वो भी confirmation
yeah,
चलेगा.
yeah, background looking cool. There's a baby in the background. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I think yeah, there's a bit of lag between what we say and what these people hear. I think there's a 10 to 15-second lag, so we might have to wait until then.
No issue. Is it real time example of happiness? Lag between getting the happiness.
Uh-huh, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think Dev has confirmed Pratik is looking cool, so we can get started. I hope I look cool as well. I'm the host, so
Thanks for clearing out. I was in dilemma that who is the host. So yeah.
this conversation is probably going to be host to host because in our original fashion we both are hosts. So yeah. Anyway, I'll just get started. Thanks, Pratik, for joining in. We will talk all things sales and also how to scale YouTube. Pratik has bought some 5 to 6K followers in YouTube, so that's quite a number. Yeah, so congratulations on that, and thanks for joining again. He's also the head of business growth at Traco. He started off with pure sales. He climbed up the ladder to become general manager, then the head of growth, um, and now, yeah, I think head of business growth. Correct? Yeah. So we'll we'll go into that later. But before I get started, how the session will go is I have some questions for Pratik which he does not know. We have not prepared anything, guys. So yeah, it's true. Why are you laughing? People will think that they have come prepared. Yeah. So,
No, guys, it's totally unfiltered. So yeah.
yeah, it's totally unfiltered. So I have some questions for Pratik. Once I'm done with it, you guys can put your questions on the comment section. I'll take it up towards the end. Promise. So yeah. So Pratik, how did you end up in sales? That too, SaaS sales. You're doing
It's
engineering. No, you're doing BCom.
Yeah, BCom accounting. It's pretty tough, yeah. I mean, I don't know how I end up, but I feel like I started selling out in colleges. Like so in college days I started. So everyone says that I choose this career, but somehow if they look back, right, and they will connect the dot, that career have chosen them, right? And the people who are truly successful in their career, they are not choose those career path, right? That career path choose them, and this is what happened. So if you see mythology, if you see current success people, if you see the future successful people, they haven't decided yet what they will do, and somehow they will
Mhm.
end up doing something which is make them successful. So happened with me also. So in college I started teaching students. I started going for primary school. I become teacher, and then students started liking me. The only thing which helped me in while teaching in school, that my conversation, the way I conversation do the conversation, it's got improved. And that's how I ended up in a sale. Because when I set up in an interview for ICICI, that was the first job, that was a college placement. They took me for some banking job, but they again put me in a sales role. They said, "Nahi, you have a good conversation skill and you are good with talking people, so you can lead the sales and all." And then I started selling. But in a 7 to 8 month, I decided that banking is not something which I can do, because there's so many, uh, you cannot be honest in banking. That's the biggest challenge. You have to do the mis-selling, and that is the unsaid truth which no one
Yeah.
acknowledge, but there is, right? Whether you are selling insurance or a fixed account or saving accounts or whatever it is, if there's a finance, there's a hidden truth. And which I was not liking. Then I left that and then I joined a startup. And that startup luckily launched their software. And I was good in sales. And they asked me that, will you try selling software? I said, yeah, definitely. Why not? And this is how I end up in a SaaS. So yeah, this is the entire story in a nutshell. So basically, people wanted me to do sales, and I never said no. So yeah.
Nice, nice. That's great. So now with that sort of a coincidental career turn that happened with you, you have climbed up the ladder quite well, right? So within a short span of time, 5 to 6 years, I think, which is not a lot if you see in colloquial terms. So from sales to head of growth right now, how did you grow so fast in sales? What did you acquire while you were on the job? The skills that you got, all of that.
Okay, so let me tell you the honest answer of this, right? I'm pretty afraid, and I'm afraid of losing, to be very honest, right? So when I started, when I started working, one thing I figured out that if I'll not work hard, someone else will come and replace me. That is first thing. And people don't understand this. There are people out there who are ready to replace you if you'll not work hard. So even in a ICICI, which was my first job, I started doing meetings on Sunday, because Sunday is the best day to talk about people with their career plans and their financial planning, right? So I started meeting with people on a Sunday. When I joined startup, I started working in night. So I used to wake up at 5 o'clock, and that particular 5 o'clock, I used to call. I used to work in a logistics, right, transportation, and truck used to move in the morning, क्योंकि वो no entry and all रहता है. So at a
Right.
5 o'clock, I was calling drivers that, hey, where are you? Are you placing the trucks or not? Right. And I started updating in a group. So it become kind of habit that I started working hard. And it was also looking
Mhm.
cool, right? No one is doing anything, and I'm working at 9, I'm working in the morning. And that's how I started doing multiple things. Later on in my career, after 2 or 3 years, I realized that if I work on something single, I mean, if I'm doing something one at a time, right? I'm not doing much, right? So if I'm doing sales, I'm not able to make sure that people are remembering me, right? So I'll not share a mark on the world. So I started creating content. While creating content, I realized that, hey, I can also do some kind of marketing. Then I started doing mails. When I was doing mails, I also think like I can also run some kind of ad campaign. I learned ad campaign. So wearing a multiple hats will help you to grow in career very fast, right? So when
Mm.
people say that multitasking is not a good thing, you are not going to master of one or something like that. You don't have to have a master of one, right? You don't have to do mastery on one thing, right? Be good at something and keep doing something else also in parallel way, right? If a company paying you for one job, right, make sure they are getting two or three things done with that salary. And that will make sure that you are not getting replaced by someone else. Because if company have to hire someone, they have to hire three people to replace your work, because you are doing three people a job. And this is
Yeah.
how, yeah, and this is how, when you will be at certain position जहाँ पे आपको company place नहीं कर पाएगी, then you will ask your amount. Then you will say, hey, I want head of business growth का position. I want this much salary. I want this location. I don't want to come office at 11 o'clock. I'll work from home. And they cannot say no, because they are dependent on you. So it's just like you have to have that position, that leverage, and then you can ask whatever you want. So yeah.
Hmm. Right. That's like taking notes wala suggestion. So now, in your sales career, right? Like, I think you had a very unconventional sales career as compared to what SaaS people do. So it's mostly like writing emails and calls. What did you do as a when you were selling logistics, or when you were selling insurance in banking or something?
See, I have seen the entire transition in sales, right? I don't look old, but yeah, I have seen so many things.
You are mistaken with.
Okay, so I have seen so many. So I have seen the landline phone wala calling. तब
हाँ.
मोबाइल नहीं लैंडलाइन होते थे डेस्क पे और वो हम लैंडलाइन से कॉल करते थे. आई हैव सीन दैट फेज. आई हैव
Mm,
सीन द विंडोज फेज जहाँ पे एक्सपी चलता था एंड वो बड़े बड़े लैपटॉप नहीं मिलते थे कंपनीज में, वो डेस्कटॉप हुआ करता था. दैट
mm,
प्लेस आई हैव सीन आफ्टर कोविड जहाँ पे सब सेल्स इन्फ्लुएंसर बन गए थे टिकटॉक पे. राइट, आई हैव सीन दैट फेज ऑल्सो. One thing which I have realized that if you are not doing your boring task, you are not going to succeed. Right?
yeah.
It's not just a one thing. You cannot master the numbers with cold call. You cannot achieve the goals via LinkedIn post. You cannot achieve the numbers via cold emailing. You have to do multiple things.
Correct.
Something will give you the more result, something will not give you the result, but you have to keep doing. In
Mm,
Traco, when I joined, we started the मेल ब्लास्ट वीकली. हर ट्यूसडे
mm,
हम मेल ब्लास्ट करते हैं. एंड इन दैट मेल ब्लास्ट वी डू सम काइंड ऑफ मीम, वी शेयर सम काइंड ऑफ फीचर, वी शेयर समथिंग. एंड दैट इज कीप हैपनिंग. वो अभी तक 3 साल से चलता आ रहा है. When we
mm,
started, we had around 100 people got email IDs. Now we have
mm,
20,000 email IDs. Every week we
oh,
do a blast of 20,000. And that's keep happening. Email IDs are getting added. We are also getting clients. किसी किसी महीने में उस एक सिंगल मेल ब्लास्ट से वी गॉट 20 डेमोज. किसी किसी मंथ में वी डोंट गेट एनी डेमोज. इट्स अ जीरो. But we keep doing.
mm,
So you have to keep doing the boring task. You have to keep calling every day. I still call people. I still figure out prospect. So that you have to do it. When you say that I don't had the conventional way of doing sales, that's true. I feel like I'm not a kind of salesperson. I never try to do any sales. I always try to understand what the business my client is doing and how I can help them. Simple. Even I feel like there's no use of my software, I say upfront, I'm not going to help you. There's no use of my software. If I feel like I can help them more, I know better than them, I tell them on face that, see, this is the wrong way, this is the right way, this is what you should do, right? And trust me, when I'm talking about these people are not at my age. They are in 40s, 50s, and they are doing this job from last 20 years, 30 years. And telling
mm,
these kind of people that, hey, you are doing wrong, it's take lots of guts, right?
mm.
Just because I say it हंसते हुए कि सर आप सही नहीं कर रहे हो. ठीक है. It's work out, but yeah, sometimes you have to make sure that whatever you are feeling, you are conveying and you are saying to your clients, because at the end they are humans, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's a B2B, whether it's a SaaS, whether it's a financial something, whatever you are selling, you have to make sure that these people are going to remind you. So whenever I share some of inputs, right, whenever, so one day I was in a plant, and I told them that all these operation people will get replaced within 5 years. ठीक
Mm,
है. सारे लोग रिप्लेस हो जा रहे हैं. एंड दैट टाइम द दुकान दुकान जो है स्टार्टअप, दे हैव रिप्लेस द एंटायर कस्टमर सक्सेस टीम. 90% उन लोगों ने रिप्लेस कर दिया था. आई सॉ देम ब्लॉग कि दिस इज द ब्लॉग, this is what is going to happen, and you all people will be replaced. So start using this software or else try to find out new job. ऐसे मैंने बोल दिया था. That happens. You have to give the reality check. So yeah, this is what I do.
right, right. That's great actually. You have one foot, in the hard work space, and also quite realistic on the other side. So now, Pratik, what do you do as a business head, business growth head? I'll ask my question once you give your answer.
This is so I really find this question hard to answer, what I really do. So let me start with my daily activity, right? The first
Mm,
responsibility, increasing the revenue by any mean and medium, right? So I meet with client, I have my team, I check their CRM, I
mm,
also send follow up mail where I feel like कि मेरी टीम, क्योंकि sometimes is also about the designation and person, right? तो I feel like कि अगर मेरी टीम से वो मेल पे रिप्लाई नहीं आ रहा है या कॉल पे रिप्लाई नहीं आ रहा है, कॉल देम और मैं उस पर रिप्लाई कर देता हूँ या मेल पे कनेक्ट कर लेता हूँ, या फिर मैं उन क्लाइंट से बात कर लेता हूँ कि क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. सो आई
Mm.
डू द सेल्स. आई ऑल्सो गो फॉर मीटिंग्स जस्ट लाइक टुडे. आई हैड अ मीटिंग्स एंड मैं वो मीटिंग कर रहा था. सो आई मीट विद पीपल फेस टू फेस. आई ऑल्सो रन मार्केटिंग कैंपेन. ठीक है, तो इफ़ यू सी रिसेंटली हम लोगों ने एक लिंक्डइन पे कैंपेन रन किया था जहाँ पे हमने अपने सप्त का पोजीशन चेंज कर दिया था. सो फ्रॉम हेड ऑफ
Right.
बिजनेस ग्रोथ से हमने लिखा था फैन ऑफ लॉजिस्टिक ऑटोमेशन, समथिंग लाइक दैट, राइट? सो दिस काइंड ऑफ marketing campaign we also run. I also take care of whatever content going on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, जो भी मीम
Social
बन रहा
media.
है, सोशल मीडिया, एवरीथिंग जो मेल ब्लास्ट हो रहा है उसका. ऑल्सो सोल्यूशन डेवलपमेंट आई ऑल्सो टेक केयर ऑफ, क्योंकि सोल्यूशन में सेल्स पीपल आर द आई ऑफ कंपनी, राइट? सो जो भी
Correct.
फीडबैक हमें क्लाइंट से मिलता है, हम वो कस्टमर्स वो हम प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर को बताते हैं या हम
Mm.
डेवलपमेंट टीम को बताते हैं. दे मेक श्योर दैट these things are getting changes. I also take care of operation, customer success. So they also report me whatever problem they are facing, whatever challenges they are facing. I take care of, I try to help them. And at the end, finance वाले भी मेरे पीछे आ जाते हैं क्योंकि ultimately client मेरा है. तो if we are not getting any money from any of people, any of client, because we are into B2B, and the
Mm.
biggest problem with the B2B, the amount is very high, but because of their lengthy process, it take at least 3 to 4 months to get the clearance of payment.
Mm.
That's the problem. So that I also take it. So yeah. So in apart from coding and development, I guess I have everything to do.
That's great. That's great. I'll just pick up one thing out of all your job roles. You said that you also create the feedback loop from sales to customer success to product, right? How does that look like in your organization? Because most of the companies do falter at this point.
Okay, so I really feel proud to have a great customer success. So far we had zero churn rate. In last 3 years we haven't lost any client until
Oh.
unless yeah. And like there are incidents where we have lost the client, but we make sure कि हम उनको वापस ले आ रहे within 1 month. So that happened, right? So whether it's a solution bug or something, or maybe they are not happy, we made sure that we are meeting, we are talking, and we are getting things done, and we never lost a client so far. Uh, the most important thing that all these people, all these teammates who are working in Chaco, they all owns the process, right? They don't wait for my approval, they don't wait for co-founders approval, don't wait for someone else approval to take any decision. So whether it's a customer success, whether it's a sales, whether anyone, right? So they don't wait for confirmation, they do the things which is required for keeping the client and onboarding the client. So even
Hmm.
if sales team have committed something that this is how it will happen, my customer success team makes sure that that is happening that way. If my customer
Right.
success have committed something that this feature we will give it to you for free, my coding team does not ask why we are giving it for free. They make sure they're developing it and giving it to the client because my customer team has already committed it. So this is the most
Right.
important thing. So ownership is the one thing which needs to be done in startup, especially startup where you have less than 50 or 100 people. So you have
Correct.
to uh, onboard team who are well equipped to taking the decision, and also who are not afraid of going one extra mile for keeping that client. Second, the feedback loop is, so we have a 5 level acceleration matrix, right?
Mm.
From customer success to co-founder, right? And
Mm.
every client will get that numbers, right? So even I don't think I have my team and I should not reply in a WhatsApp group. I have my team and I should not talk to any of clients, right? Whether it's a 2,000 clients or whether it's a 20 lakh clients, right? So this
Mm.
is what happens. So we all work for each other. No one work for themselves. That's the only thing, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, so less bureaucracy and a lot more ownership between all the teams. Right,
Yeah, so
right.
we have zero churn rate with client and employee both.
Okay. Oh, that is quite a flex actually. That's good. So yeah, now I'll move on to the next segment. I'll ask you about your YouTube story and everything. Before that, if you guys have any questions regarding sales processes, feedback loops, SaaS, Traco, logistics. I think Pratik knows everything, so you guys can ask anything you want to. I'll take it up. Yeah. So since you have like what 5 to 6 now 6K followers on
Approx.
YouTube.
Approx.
Yeah, okay. ठीक है, we round it off. So yeah, that much followers, and I think it's a good number because yeah, you know what I think from my side is that YouTube is very saturated at this point of time. Everybody, like every segment, like even if you take sub segment of a big topic, there will be at least some 50,000 creators making the same sort of a topic, right? But with that also having an audience of in thousands is quite a job to pull off. So what are some effective strategies that you have seen for scaling YouTube to maintain consistency and also quality while your production is also high, right? So what are the key strategies?
Okay, so first of all, I'll definitely like to mention everyone who is watching this. Pratik, Pratik Pandey is the only Hindi SaaS sales content creator across world, right? Guys, that is the one achievement which I have. So I'm the only one who is creating SaaS sales content in Hindi across globe. So कोई और नहीं कर रहा है, ठीक है? And I'm the
Uh,
only one Indian content creator who is creating only SaaS sales related content. That is again an achievement. So बाकी लोग, there are people, there are challenge who is talking about SaaS and all, but they are not focused on SaaS sales. They are focused on entire SaaS environment ecosystem, right? Marketing and all everything. Um, See, the most important thing, when I talk about the YouTube, the problem is like people think that YouTube is an entertainment channel, right? It's not. It's a second search engine, right? So people either search on Google or search on YouTube. These are
mm,
the things which people have to understand. So whenever you are creating a content, try to understand that what exactly you are looking for, right?
mm,
So my first video, which went viral, and now I guess it have around 100K views. What is SaaS? It's just a 3 minutes video, and I have explained that what is exactly SaaS means. SaaS kaise kaam kar, what exactly you will understand via SaaS, right? And what the SaaS stand for, how it works. It's a very simple video. Anyone can guess it, anyone can understand it, but I have made it and it went viral. Then there are a couple of way that how what kind of question you'll get, how I
mm,
give the demo, how I research about client, what I do as a head of business growth, what I do as a salesperson, what is the role of BDR, SDR, what is this kind of community and all, right? So there's a no common sense, right? First of all, common sense is not so common, right? So you cannot think like that, yeah, the common sense hai. That's not going to happen. It's not common. So whatever you know might be someone will not know. You will
right.
find hard to, like, we all know about Lucia, Apollo, all those stuff, right? Everyone knows, right? But there are 100 people who don't know about the Lucia. There are 100
Mm,
people who don't know how to set up a LinkedIn account. There are 100 of people who don't know that LinkedIn exists even in India, right? And to educate them, it's very easy to make content on those kind of thing, right? So first of all, figure out that what kind of content you wanted to learn, what kind of content you wanted to search on a engines or like search engine, right? Whether it's a Google or YouTube, and then build accordingly, right? When I started, I still remember. Uh, I still have that video. I again go, that video. In that video, I'm saying मेरा 100 subscriber करवा दो guys, please. It's very much important. 100 subscriber करवा दो. क्योंकि मेरे पास इतने I didn't had that much of people who were interested in SaaS. मेरे contact में ही नहीं थे. Right, so
mm,
I was like कि 100 subscriber करवा दो, and that will be great. Right, so the thing is, like, whenever you start creating content on YouTube, make sure that you are creating content which you wanted to pursue, which you wanted to learn. Second, whenever you are creating content, make sure that you don't think like this is a common sense. Nothing is a common sense, right? You have to explain everything and every bit. Whether,
mm,
so I have also made content that how you should wear clothes being in a sales, right?
mm. Yeah,
That also important, right? People don't
right.
know that how you should wear clothes, what kind of hairstyle you can keep, how you can talk, how you should stand. It's like 1 feet ka gap hona chahiye, how you should sit, all this stuff, right? So that kind of content I create. So you can
Yes,
make
I
any kind of
am
content.
properly right now, Pratik. Just
Yeah, yeah, you're not sitting in front of your client, so yeah, that works.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair, fair. Yeah. Sorry, go
Right.
on.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that happened. Second, when you wanted to build a YouTube channel which is related to your work, make
Hmm.
sure that you have time and you don't have excuse. That's the most
Hmm.
important thing, right? People start with the motivation and then start making excuse. Oh, I have too much work. Oh, I'm too occupied. Oh, I have to travel. Oh, I'm not, I just got one day Sunday milta mere ko. I have my own life, I cannot. I keep working till 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, right? So they start making excuse, and I have seen lots of people. Even you
Hmm.
can see there's so many people who start creating content on LinkedIn, and they are creating lots of content, Canva and all, blah 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 blah, carousel, so many research and all, and then after a certain month they are gone. They are nowhere,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
The problem is like they are not passionate enough, and they are trying to get the outcome within a very short period,
Yeah.
right? You can see my 6,000 subscriber right now. You can see that I'm head of business growth right now, but you haven't seen my 8 year of work. You haven't seen, because of that 8 year of work I can create content any moment. I can talk about SaaS anytime because I have put in my 8 years, kind of 1 decade, right? And that's why I'm able to talk about anything in SaaS sales. So this is what
Hmm.
happened. So when you are starting building a content, a community, uh, it's important to make content which you love, and you don't have to make excuses for that kind of content, right? So if I'm
Right.
traveling, I make sure that my videos bane hue and they are already scheduled. So yeah.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, that's quite a
Right, guys. I guess Priyanka left.
yeah.
Now
Priyanka
she's
is
here.
back. Priyanka just
Priyanka is
lost
back. Yeah.
yeah network. So yeah, I'm so sorry. Anyway, now let's go back to business and YouTube both. See, most of the people, how they businesses, especially in the SaaS market, how they view content is they will do SEO work or blogs and all of that. The other they'll do social media and all of that, right? No SaaS company at least as its main demand generation program really thinks about how to scale something like a YouTube, right? um, Even if there is community engagement, that is limited to Slack group banayenge ya फिर all of those things, right? So how can businesses leverage content and community engagement for their own revenue, right? Including YouTube, mainly YouTube rather.
So I think this is getting changed, to be very honest, right? There are
Yeah.
companies, if you know Slide Bean, right? I'm fan of their work. There are slide making software, and they are getting earnings and leads from YouTube, right?
Hmm.
So they have around couple of million followers now, the subscribers now, right?
Hmm.
If you take example of YC, right? There are companies who make content on YouTube, right? Uh,
Hmm.
truly mentioned that company don't think about YouTube. They were thinking that YouTube is just an entertainment channel, but now companies are understanding that why it's important to make YouTube content, why it's important to make podcasts, why it's important to put out reels and kind of shorts. It's very much important, right? Uh,
Hmm.
but the problem with YouTube that it's demand time, and it's demand too much effort, right? It's not like Instagram, it's not like Facebook, it's not like LinkedIn. YouTube demand too much time, especially if you are into longer form of video, because
Hmm.
in a short form people can discover you, right? But for long form, people have to have an interest in your content, and they will search for you. They will not
Right.
discover you, right? So you have to make sure that people are not discovering you, they are searching for you. Then you have to put so many mind, so many things, so many effort to make this kind of content, right?
Hmm.
Let me give you example of one slide change which I do, right? So in 2023 I made a content called 6 ideas which you can try in SaaS in 2023, right? This was the entire video ka ye. And I got around 10 to 20k views on that video, right? in January 2024. I changed
Mm.
the title. I made it sixth idea which you can try in SaaS this year. I removed the
Mm.
2023, and that video again went on trending.
Mm.
More than
Yeah.
5,000 people have searched that video, right? So this is what
Okay.
you have to do. So same
Mm.
video, I made it 1 year ago, but just with the one slight change, people started watching it, right? Because I made it this year, not in 2023. So this is what
Right.
happened. So the moment you'll start looking YouTube as a search engine platform, you'll start putting out the brain, right? So if you see my any videos, right, I make title as a person who is asking the question, right? What is SaaS? What is LCB? How I can get job in SaaS? What BDR do, right? Or maybe so anything which a common person will ask from Google or from YouTube. Simple,
Right.
right? And also, if you see the videos, I don't talk too much blah 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 story. Ye wo kuch nahi. 4 to 5 minutes video, 6 minute videos. Podcasts are longer. People also watch 20 to 30 minutes ka podcast, but people also watch 5 to 6 minute video. I Lots of people have told me ki shorts banao, but I feel like ki I don't wanted to do something. uh, पैसे तो यार सैलरी से आ जाते हैं. I'm head of business growth, I have too much money. वो तो आ जा रहा है,
Oh,
ठीक है.
ah,
Tracker paying me well, man.
mic drop moment.
So I don't wanted to make money from YouTube, right? So that's why I don't make too much shorts or too much reel. I wanted to make sure that people are learning and searching for my videos, and that's why I make
Mm.
only most of the long form videos. I talk about things which people really wanted to understand, really wanted to know, right? um, Company who are building this kind of YouTube channel, they also have to understand that instead of promoting their product, their solution, they have to make videos which will educate their audience, which their audience trying to find out, which their audience trying to understand, and then only they can able to grow the entire video. It will not happen that you will bring some of CEO, CXO, brand name or something, blah 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 blah, and you'll get the view. I have seen videos where very famous people are there in that video, but it's got only 100 or 200 views. But I have seen
Mm.
people where the person is not even able to know how to talk, but they have
Ah,
around 100K, 200K views because he is explaining things which people need to understand. That's simple.
right. Right. Absolutely. And I think YouTube is also framed in that way, right? Coded in that way that these things get more views and all of that. You ask it, like you said, it's an SEO essentially, where you do what the algorithm wants you to do. So,
So YouTube only want people to search for your video, and after searching, people stay on your video. That's all.
yeah.
So if your channel catering these two things, that's simple. So if people are finding videos for me, I mean my channel ka, that's the one thing. Second, if after finding my video, they are watching my video, ऐसा तो नहीं कि वो
Mm.
skip करके निकल जा रहे हैं.
Right, right, right. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have two more questions for you, and then I'll take some questions from the audience. So feel free to put in your questions on the chat. So yeah, now coming back to my questions, what are some common challenges businesses or SaaS companies mostly may encounter while scaling YouTube? What have you seen in your experience?
Copying someone else.
Okay, okay.
so, so this is a very very funny fact, right? People think that this is working for them, this will work for
Mm,
me too. This have worked for Joe Rogan, this will work for me too. This is
yeah.
what Slidebean have done, this will work for me too, right? So that's the
Mm,
biggest problem with all these companies. They are trying to copy content or way of doing content or making videos from other companies who are already doing it, right? So let me give you an
yeah.
example. We launch a section called Logistic Unlock powered by Traco. That was
Mm.
the podcast name which we have launched, right? One of our competitor launched unboxing logistics. so, so this is what happened. I was like, come on, man, put some brain, think about some new name.
Doesn't even make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this is what, and they put so many, mic and all. I like, yeah, people are standing in a studio and they are talking about plastic and all. I like, good, but it's not going to work because you are copying someone else's content and the authenticity will be there, right? People are not dumb. Right, Priyanka will know that this idea of coming from Pratik channel or Pratik have already made a video from this, right? um,
Yeah.
Taking an inspiration is a different thing and copying someone else kind of approach is totally different thing, right? You can take
Mhm.
impression, you can take inspiration from different way, but you cannot just copy paste everything. That's the
Yeah.
biggest challenge. The second challenge, people think it's too easy. It's not,
Mm.
right? You have to have a dedicated team for YouTube. You have to have a dedicated person for YouTube. You have to have a dedicated face for YouTube. The biggest problem with companies that they don't have dedicated face. People and content creation only grow because people are so habituated to watch one person on a day-to-day basis. The
Right.
moment someone else will appear on Pratik Pandey ka channel for SaaS sales, people will stop watching it because they are
But
so
how will
habituated.
yeah,
Yeah.
but how will companies overcome this, right? Like people leave and join companies.
So okay, so let me give you a wonderful example of one startup called Backstage Millionaire. It's a Bangalore based company, right?
Oh,
They are into YouTube. They have around 600 or 700K followers. What they did,
acha.
they have a podcast session. There's a one
Mm,
guy who used to do podcast. Then they started a news section where they put a YouTube LinkedIn, sorry, they put the startup news on a weekly basis. That
mm,
section started by someone else. Then they have a short section where the third person do the entire shorts, right?
acha.
Now
Uh,
if you see one channel but the different kind of videos and different kind of face, right? So now who are the people who watch the podcast? They only want that guy. The people who want a kind of news video, they want that guy. The people who wanted to watch the reel, they wanted that guy. So this is how
mm,
company will grow, and this is how you can start multiple sections, right? If you want, add some new kind of way of content, add something new concept, some new way of putting out the information.
yeah, yeah, right. All of this is fine, but what if those one of those person leaves the company and they have to replace it with someone, right?
This is what I'm saying. You have to have a dedicated person who is so motivated. So that's why I always approach someone from the management to build their brand on YouTube.
Mm,
So take an example of Slidebean. The co-founder
yeah,
make videos, right? Take an example of Think Media. Take an example of Ankur Vadiko. Take an example of whatever company who have grown big in on YouTube. The only face is co-founder or management or someone who is not going to leave the company for long term,
yeah,
because the moment someone lower will come and take over they are becoming the face, they are the brand ambassador. How a brand
correct,
ambassador will leave, right? How it will feel to leave a brand ambassador, our company nahi rahegi.
correct. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why we in Factors also like push our founders to, build their brand on LinkedIn and all because they are the face at the end of the day. So
Right.
yeah, that's quite a
it's not
important thing.
it's not important to have co-founders only, but someone who is more feel like dedicated for the startup and company and for they are going to stay long run. So yeah.
Yeah, long run as in what is long run now? 3 to 4
लॉन्ग
years.
रन एज इन 6 महीने में जॉब नहीं चेंज करने वाला.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. Yeah. So yeah, long
ऐसा
term
ना
as
हो
in
कि ऐसा ना हो कि 6 महीने they made 2 or 3 videos and then someone else offered you, hey, and then
no,
that
I
person is
think
like, okay, bye bye.
that is a very weird way to scale brand. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, now now I'll ask this last question. Okay, has YouTube helped you in your career progression?
I'm here with you. What else you want to know? This is just because of YouTube. Come on.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. Sure. But your career, right? Like.
I'm sure there are lots of people who are watching this live. They know me because of my YouTube.
Of course, 100%.
There are
And your
so many
community.
clients. Yeah, there are so many clients who appreciate me because I made what YouTube videos. There are so many. My future plan is also dependent on YouTube, right? So after Traco, when we will like take exit, or maybe when we will become unicorn or something, like when just I have to give gyan, I don't have to work and meet client, I'll also start making more YouTube videos and I'll become kind of gyani baba in SaaS, something like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
so that's dependent on YouTube itself. So yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not about me as a personal brand, it's also about the community. All right, I have helped so many people to understand what is SaaS, and
Mm.
that's the proud moment. Recently I went to one of community meet. There's a one guy who met me and he said that I got a job because of you,
Yeah.
and that was a great moment. I was like, come on man, this is what I'm doing. So instead of thinking about how YouTube helped me in a career, I also feel
Mm.
like it's also helped me to get a better sleep, to
Mm.
get a sense of achievement, to get a sense of ego that I am someone.
That's great. That's great. I hope you call me on your channel after you become a big YouTube
Yeah,
celebrity.
for sure, for sure. One last thing I'll definitely like to mention, uh, people sometimes think that confidence comes from inside, but it's not. Confidence always comes from outside, right? And you have to do something apart from your job where you are getting confidence from
Mm.
appreciation you are getting from other people. So if I'm making
Mm.
content, maybe it's a YouTube or LinkedIn, or maybe I'm meeting people, or maybe I'm kind to some people, or maybe I'm helping them, and they're
Mm.
appreciating me for anything, right?
Mm.
You are getting more confident. So I'm confident not because I'm heritage, kind of. Not, that's not in my gen. I am confident because people appreciate me for my YouTube videos and the way I talk, the way I make videos, the way I help people, and that make me more confident. And that confidence helped me to work in a better way in my job.
Taking notes. Yeah, that's great insights, Pratik. I think we have one question. What are the AI tools we can use for sales outbound? Why do you want to use AI for outbound? Just don't use AI, man.
No, you should use AI. I mean, I'm
Okay.
totally against. Nani, you should use AI. Not only
Uh,
AI, you should automate as much as possible. And I'm fan of automation, right?
yeah.
I'm fan whenever I hear that there are companies who are building $1 million startup with 3 people and 4 people, right? So I'm fan of
Mm.
that kind of companies. So automate everything, each and everything, right? The first thing is like use Apollo. I'm a big fan of Apollo.
Mm.
Apollo.io, right? So they have sequencing, right? You can make sequence, auto sequence. They have play where they keep adding data based on your filter, right? They have customized way of sending mails. They have auto sequencing. They also have auto finding. So Apollo is one. They have recording tool, LinkedIn recorder, all those video call recorder, all those things are there, right?
Mm.
Second AI tool will be, I mean, Apollo do so many things, right? So many
Yeah.
things, and that will more than enough. You are utilizing in a full way, right? That's the most important thing.
Mm.
uh, One more thing which I'll definitely like to mention, that instead of using multiple tools, use one tool with 100% satisfaction, right? Do you
Mm.
know across SaaS industry
Use
face
fact.
under, yeah, use factor is also there. Clary is there.
Mm.
Clary is also doing great work, yeah. But
Yes.
yeah, I was saying that entire SaaS industry face underutilization, right? So
Mm.
only 60 to 70% software is getting utilized. So if you're not utilizing 100% software, maybe 90%, 95% software, right, it's not going to help you. So don't
Mm.
underutilize software. Take a one
Mm.
software, utilize it 100%, overutilize it, and then go for next one. So yeah, Clary, Factor, Apollo.io.
Mm.
I also use Mailchimp, Ocean.io. So these are the things which you can definitely use it.
Right, right. I think we have another question from Kunal. How to switch career from IT services to the SaaS industry? Everybody does it, I
Uh,
think.
Oh my God, this is very deep question, and it's very long. So definitely you should. First of all, you have to understand that what kind of company you wanted to join, right? See, I
Mm.
always say try to find the connect, right? That's very much important. So when you are
Mm.
talking about IT services, which kind of services you are giving, right?
Mm.
Is it a website development? Is it a kind of app building? Is it a kind of some kind of businesses which you are doing, right? If you are developing a app, right, which kind of
Mm.
industry you have taken care? Is it a agri-tech? Is it a kind of a mobile selling company, or is it a kind of losty company जिसके लिए आपने app बनाया है? The moment you figure out the industry, try to figure out SaaS in those industry. There are
Hmm.
SaaS in every industry. The moment you'll figure out SaaS in this industry, apply there. When
Hmm.
you apply in similar industry, your experience getting utilized there, though you are
Hmm.
not from SaaS, but still you have a experience in that industry and that can be utilized. But if you apply randomly, right, कि हर जगह apply कर रहे हर जगह apply कर रहे, that's not going to be useful because they will treat you as a fresher and that will be more difficult. To always try to figure out that in what industry you have worked and then connect the dot with the similar kind of SaaS which is already working in that industry. So that's the
Hmm.
first step. And then
Hmm.
second, do the research, blah 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 blah. You'll find so many things and you can search on YouTube and you'll get my videos. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. I think those are the questions that we had. There are no more questions if I can see correctly. So yeah, I think we can close the session now. Thanks, Pratik, for joining, and it was a great conversation, quite unfiltered and
Same
very
here.
honest. So yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you so much, Priyanka, from bringing me here, and it was great. Always great to talk with you, and thank you everyone who have asked so many questions. And yeah, keep using Factor.ai.
And also tune into Pratik Pandey's channel.
Yeah, Pratik Pandey YouTube channel. So yeah, but yeah, definitely, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you, Priyanka.
See you guys. Bye. Thanks for joining. I'll just